Yo, check it. All right, fam, you are back. Weekly outlook and prediction. AMC GME SPY, the overall Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. You do not want to miss a second of this update. Big week ahead of us. We're looking at major data drops and, of course, technical setups that we haven't seen in a long time. But let's not waste any more of your precious time and hop in the charts, facts, data. Let's go.
All right, what is up? You are back. This is the weekly outlook and prediction for stocks and crypto. We're going to be looking at the meme stocks, the overall stock market, and overall crypto market. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence. Before we hop into the meme stocks technical analysis, I just want to show you data drops for this week. The big things that we have are Fed interest rate decision and unemployment numbers, so you want to watch out for those. That's on Friday, unemployment dropping and Fed interest rate decision, and a Fed press conference, which I'll probably be streaming here on Wednesday, which could send the market moving one direction or another. Most people are probably looking for a rate cut. I think that they're going to make rates stay the same, probably 5.5. People are probably going to thinking that it's cut, and that could actually send the market to the downside if people are pricing in a rate cut and it doesn't happen. So we want to watch for that, as the market could go dumping or pumping depending on what news we get on Wednesday. And of course, Friday, unemployment is going to be absolutely huge, because that is determining the overall health of the American economy. So we want to be watching that as well. Now let's move into the meme stocks and show you what's going on for AMC and GME and the technicals and why I believe what's going to be happening, and explain why I believe that. So GME, when we go ahead and zoom out, is looking good. We're in this overall falling wedge. We're breaking out of this overall falling wedge. We pushed to the upside. Short sellers got trapped down here. They are in the red. Things are also unraveling for the short sellers now, because the narrative for these stocks, the macro for these stocks, the thing that really matters, the thing that these older investors, these legacy investors, these short sellers are really looking at, the fundamentals and the macro are starting to improve. These stocks are not going anywhere, as people like Andrew Left are starting to get charged. You can see right here, we are making change. People are getting exposed. Andrew Left getting charged. And one of the main stocks he got bagged for was GME, and he was caught by the CAT system. So things are coming in our favor. It just takes time. These things move very, very slow. People expect it to just explode the very day that the CAT system comes out. That's not how these things play out. When in doubt, you must zoom out. Also, the narrative for AMC is changing, and GME, because all the cash that GME is sitting on. AMC with the new debt restructuring program and the box office absolutely taking off. You can see Deadpool and Wolverine doing absolute numbers. I'm trying to tell people this movie is big for the meme stocks. This is big for AMC and also big for GME. They're on the same algos, and the macro is improving for these stocks. So very good things is coming. I'm telling you, Deadpool is a big deal, and it could reignite the Marvel franchise, which could send huge numbers at the box office. Again, I'm tapped in with the Marvel community, and it seems like this movie could reignite and get people excited about Marvel again, which could cause more and more box office hits. And we're also seeing different movies coming out causing box office hits. So the narrative around these stocks is changing. The macro is changing, and the short sellers really have to think, are these stocks really going out of business? Will the apes actually sell? It's been 3 years and they haven't sold. We can go ahead and look at things like the OBV and see that OBV is sitting at all-time high or higher, meaning more people are buying and holding now than ever on these stocks. So more people are buying and holding. We're not selling. Things are gonna break, and if they break, it really could cause a huge short squeeze. And people think that the best time to squeeze the shorts is when the market's rallying. No, it's when the market is pulling back, when liquidity is drying up. That is the best time to squeeze the shorts, and we are finally getting one of the first red months that we've had in a long while. We had this little bit red month here, but again, it's been an overall massive bull run, and we're starting to see red month and red weeks here on SPY, as SPY is potentially topping out, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But GME, AMC, the macro is changing. GME in this overall falling wedge structure, and this looks good for a continuation to the upside, and it looks for like we're going to make an overall uptrend. Again, when in doubt, zoom out. Now, some things that I am concerned about on GME is the weekly MACD starting to curl to the downside. That is a little bit of sign that momentum is fading, but we haven't broke below the key levels of 2260. too. So as long as we remain above that level, it is good. GME, I'm expecting to make a pop to the upside. Based off what I'm seeing here, you can see that the MACD is green. It's slightly curling up. Even you can see that if you go ahead and put on some of the moving averages, you can see that the moving average is starting curling up. Of course, the medium line of a Bollinger Band is actually a moving average as well. You can see that starting curling up. You can see that we're actually above that blue line, using it as support. And when the Bollinger Bands are tight like this, that's an indication that a big move is coming. And the move is probably going to be to the upside because we have green MACD showing momentum is positive, it's bullish, and we're above that blue medium line showing we're above key support and resistance levels. Probably going to see a move to the upside towards that $25 range. If we break above $25, there's a chance we could go to 30. And of course, if we get above $30, that's when things can get interesting for GME. You can see each and every time we've successfully broken 30 and used it as support, we've made big moves to the upside. So right here, we've broken above 30, confirmed it as support. Instantly, big move to the upside. Broken above 30, confirmed it as support. Big move to the upside. Broke above 30, used it as support. Big move to the upside. So each time we break above that $30 level, GME makes a big move to the upside. And of course, based off the fractal, we are expecting another move for GME. I do want to see GME start to push higher because that move could be invalidated, or the fractal could be invalidated if we break below certain levels. Because you can see that we never broke below the previous low. So we don't want to break below and make newer lows based off what the fractal is telling us. We want to push up so we can see that third big rally. You can see that there's 1, 2, 3 big rallies on GME stock. This one's relatively to the same height as the last one. So in order to see that move towards $40 and $50 that we are looking for, we'd obviously have to break above that $30 level, using it as support to get one of those big moves to the upside for GME. Now, I do think GME is going to be consolidating this week and starting to recover based off this overall falling wedge structure that I'm seeing here and the technicals that I am seeing. Again, we want to see GME break and hold $25 and start moving towards that $30 level. Of course, we do have the breakout target for this overall falling wedge that GME is in at $30, so there is a possibility that we could start pushing up towards that level, breaking out and moving towards the upside. I think GME is going to be able to have an overall green week in my personal opinion, but it looks like it's going to have to consolidate maybe for a day or two and then push the upside. Of course, if AMC starts to rip, that would help give GME momentum, pushing it to the upside, because you can see no matter what happens, AMC dropped on bad earnings news, and you can see that GME dropped with it. These stocks are on the same algo. I don't know why people think that AMC and GME are so different. They are tied together in so many ways. They're on the same algo. The same people trade them. The same people watch them. The same people talk about them. AMC and GME are conjoined at the hip, and whatever happens to one will happen to the other. So I do think that if we see a big move to the upside for AMC, like we're expecting, that would help GME as well. So GME, I do think, is going to be seeing a green week overall, and that is your prediction for GME. Now let's go ahead and move into AMC and show you all what's going on for AMC and why I believe the things I think for AMC. So I talked about the overall box office and everything like that. Box office doing very, very well, and this could be a catalyst. Again, as crazy as it sounds, Deadpool, and I've been talking about this, could be a catalyst for more movement to the upside, as Adam Aaron has stated that the box office coming down has ended, and it looks like that is going to be the case as the box office is popping off with, again, multiple other hits, and of course maybe even the possible reignition of the Marvel franchise, which could be absolutely huge for doing numbers. But as far as technicals are concerned, I think AMC is looking very, very good as well. Overall, people pretty much lost hope when we broke down and went down to $4.50. A lot of people expecting AMC to drop lower than it was going to drop. We broke out of this overall bear flag using it as support and recovered right back to the upside. Again, if you don't know what happened here, it was a very complicated week. AMC, and I'll go over it real quick, basically got some debt restructuring. After the debt restructuring, then AMC had gotten halted during all of that time, causing a lot of volatility. There was possibly even some trading during that halting, and then that leads us pretty much to the present time. Of course, there is a little bit of dilution in the clause of that, but this could be macro, and that could be something that they could try to use to control the squeeze. We do not want to see any more dilution in the meme stocks. Again, I have to keep it real with y'all on the channel, tell you all the good and the bad. There is a dilution clause in that new restructuring agreement. But that is basically catching you up if you don't know what happened and why we had such crazy volatility. They also released earnings early, and they did miss earnings here, so we did get an earnings, and I think they did that because of the debt restructuring. I think they had financial and legal obligations to release those numbers early to the people that were dealing with that debt restructuring. So I think that's why they released it early. Again, we got a recovery because that was a false move to the downside. Also, it seemed like this was an overall attack on AMC. There was a ton of shorting. I talked about the 6 million short shares that they dropped on AMC stock right here. They dropped over 6 million short shares, absolutely dumping into the downside. I think expanding the fractal out and causing the fractal to have to be longer and things to take longer, basically and essentially kicking the can down the road. They also had a ton of sell walls here, which is very, very interesting. They have sell walls sitting at about $9 to $12 right now. So that means people are expecting AMC stock to go that high. They have shares and sell orders, limit sell orders ready. Big money has money ready. This big block is all sell orders. That's big money right there, ready to dump shares at those levels. So they are expecting a move up to that height, and they are trying to keep us down from those levels right here. So it looks like they have like a plan. So if we were to break above that $6 level, they would try to use these sell walls here, and of course probably try to use short shares. But it is coming all unraveling because cost to borrow is starting to go up, and again, cost to borrow going up is a sign of a movement for AMC or GME. You can see last time we had cost to borrow shoot up, price went up. If we go ahead and look at what's happening here at about 513 to 516 and go to 513, 516 here on the chart, you can see that around those times AMC made a big move. So here's 513, 516. Cost to borrow going up is signs of a move for AMC, and we can see that cost to borrow is starting to increase. Cost to borrow right now for AMC sitting at about 3.74%. This could change as early as Monday morning. Cost to borrow for GME sitting on the lower side because of the recent dilution. As far as shares available to short, we have 3.3 million short shares for GME. And then as far as shares available to short, again, very limited ammo for AMC. They only have 450,000 short shares. Again, that could change and they could get shares. But with the cost of borrow going higher, it's going to cost more and be more expensive. And that's going to be very, very dangerous if the price continues to go up and they continue to short, getting more and more negative numbers, going more and more into the red. AMC overall is still consolidating in this overall range, and I am expecting a move to the upside. As long as we don't break below $4, really, we're in the clear, and we are above that key level of 471, which is the medium of this overall range, and pushing towards the higher levels of that. Again, if we get towards $5.50, $6, AMC is going to be making a big move to the upside, and of course, with all of the hype from Deadpool, we could get a possible catalyst, getting us to see that phase 7 and 8 to play out. If we break above $6, that's going to confirm that yes, this was phase 7 and 8, and we're going to see a big move to the upside. You can see last time we broke above $6, we absolutely went flying, and you better believe if we broke above $6 again, we'd absolutely go flying. And overall, the fractal hasn't broken down, so we are still above those key levels. So I think we still could definitely see that bigger move to the upside, especially if GME were to take off, or vice versa, AMC take off, and that caused GME to push up. This overall move from the fractal does say the move from AMC would be bigger, so that is something to keep in mind. And of course, with the overall macro and improving, when in doubt, zoom out. It does look good for AMC overall. Again, I'll just go ahead and look at the monthly MACD. You can see here, even on the daily time frame, daily MACD starting to curl up, but weekly MACD, we do have a green. It is starting to curl up nicely, and monthly MACD, we do have green as well. Last time we had these types of things, we had a major push to the upside and a bull run for the meme stocks as they went into an overall uptrend, and I'm expecting something similar to happen this time. So that's what I'm looking at for AMC. I do think we are going to get a green week for AMC. Last week we were right on AMC, hit the nail on the head, did get a green week, and I think we'll be able to see another green week pushing towards that overall $6 range. And if we break $6, that could make us have a bigger move to the upside. As far as what we could see on Monday, I think we're going to see a drop below, pushing down towards about 515, probably confirming 515 as support, and then we'll probably head towards 525. If we can break above 525, that's going to give us the move towards 550. 550 is where things start to get dicey, because it is getting close towards that $6 level, and of course there is a gamma ramp at 5 550 as well. So we want to be prepared for that possible movement. Overall, it looks like this week we could start pushing up towards $550, $6. And of course, y'all know what happens if we do see that. So that's what I'm looking at for AMC stock. Now let's go ahead and move into SPY. Just quickly cover SPY and then go into Bitcoin and then wrap up this video. So SPY, I think SPY is going to be having an overall bounce to the upside. I think a lot of people are not going to expect this. I think SPY is going to probably push to the upside, maybe as high as 553.30. There is a gap fill here around those levels. So SPY could push up towards that gap fill and see an overall recovery. But I think after that recovery, it's going to move back towards the downside. So I think overall what you're going to see for SPY is a movement up, maybe even as high as those levels we just spoke about, and then a bigger move down. Overall, closing the week red. So I think overall we're going to see a downside move for SPY. I did call for a red week last week, and we did get that red week. You can see that weekly MACD is fading. It is almost red. It's not red yet, but it is almost red. RSI sitting at those very high levels was just overbought. Last time we had RSI that overbought, we had a major pullback. You can see RSI got overbought at those levels that we were just previously at, and we had this pullback. I think we're going to see an overall bigger correction for SPY, and I think that the market could be topping. I think this could be the top for SPY because we did have this overall channel that we were in, and we have confirmed that channel as resistance. And I've talked about this for a while. I said once we confirm this channel, because it's been such strong support and resistance this whole time and the market's been reacting off of it, once we confirm it as resistance, you're going to see a big move down. And that's exactly what we're seeing, and I think we're going to continue to see that move down. Of course, you get bounces along the way on the way down, but I think overall we're going to be seeing a red week for SPY in my personal opinion. Probably green in the beginning of the week as it starts to recover towards those higher levels and then start moving down to the downside. Of course, multiple gap fills to the downside for SPY, and there is also, if you go ahead and look at what's going on the daily MACD, we do have daily MACD red. As you can see, daily MACD red, and of course weekly MACD starting to curl down. Multiple signs that SPY is losing its momentum. You can also see that people are starting to rotate out of those bigger mega cap stocks, which I've talked about for a while, and move into mid cap and lower cap stocks. They're doing this in anticipation of the rates getting decreased around the end of the year. If rates do get decreased, you could see a lot more profit in those lower cap and mid cap stocks. And of course, these higher cap stocks are highly overvalued at this point. You can see that RSI levels were sitting at insane levels on the bigger time frame. So they're highly overvalued, highly overbought, and they're moving out of these overbought stocks sitting at all-time highs and moving into stocks that are at all-time lows or near all-time lows, which is how you make profits into more profits. So move like smart money and be ahead of the curve, and you could be ahead of the curve by locking in and hit subscribe and getting information like you just got. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY. I think we're having an overall red week in my personal opinion. Let's go ahead and quickly check out Bitcoin and then wrap up this video. So Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin is moving towards all-time highs. I think we're going to see a nice push to the upside. Bitcoin is coming to my overall prediction and fruition. After we got this bounce, I said it was very, very clear that this was a spring for this overall trading range. So you have this trading range here, and then you have this drop down for liquidity. You grab that liquidity and get a big push to the upside. I think it's very, very clear. Hindsight is 2020. Again, and nothing is guaranteed in the market, but I think it's very, very clear since we held this overall trend line that Bitcoin is probably going to go towards all-time highs and break a new high. Now, what it does once it breaks this new high is going to be the question. Is it going to come back down and make a possible double top or something like that, double top around 73, or is it going to use it as support and blast off? I think we could use it as support and blast off, as we are in an overall bull run for the crypto market, and we're seeing great news for the crypto market as the spot Ethereum ETF is doing numbers, Bitcoin ETF doing numbers. So we're seeing really good developments in the cryptocurrency market. Cryptocurrency really starting to develop and turn into an overall industry, and I think it's going to continue to grow. I think that we're very, very early to the crypto market. I think we're going to look back 10, 20 years from now and saying, wow, crypto was highly, highly undervalued, and people that are still getting in even now were very, very early to the game. So I think crypto has a very promising future. In my personal opinion, I'm very bullish on crypto in the macro, and I think it is going to be a great opportunity. As far as what we could see, you could see a little bit pullback, maybe even come back down to 60K using that level of support. But I think overall what Bitcoin is attempting to do is go for a retest of 72,000. If we break above 69.2K and use that level of support, you would see a push towards that $72,000 range. You can see here we're cleanly above 65,600, which is the main level we need to stay above to start pushing towards these higher ranges, which is at all-time highs for BTC. So I think BTC is going to make a test for all-time highs, possibly breaking that and making a bigger move to the upside, in my personal opinion. Taking Ethereum with it, again, BTC dominance is still very, very high. So we haven't seen that overall altcoin market either. A lot of people are saying that maybe the bull market's going to end early. I think what's going to actually happen is Bitcoin's going to make another leg up, start to range, and then altcoin season is going to kick in. And I think this is just the very beginning of this crypto bull run, and it's going to make the last crypto bull run look like absolutely nothing, in my personal opinion. Again, if Ethereum broke above about 4,000, 4,500, you would see a huge move to the upside, and we're making this overall bull flag consolidation. So I think both Bitcoin and Ethereum are about to make major moves, which would be good for both Bitcoin and altcoin. So this is what I'm looking at for the overall cryptocurrency and Bitcoin market. If you found this video informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe. I appreciate it if you managed to watch to the end. This was a little bit of a longer one, weekly outlook and prediction. If you want to support the channel in a different way, you can check out the merch store. We're always getting new items in all the time, so make sure you check it out. Link in the description and comment section. And I appreciate each and every one of you. But if you want to support for absolutely free, just drop a like and leave a comment. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.
All right, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. I appreciate it if you watch to the end of this video. Leave a comment down below to help support the channel. And of course, if you want to support in a different way, you can check out the merch store. I do stream live most days from market open to market close, so you guys can check that out if you want. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.